The chamber of Harmony Spire was vast, shaped like a circle, with tiered seats rising high around a central stage. Hundreds of species gathered inside, their banners displayed with pride. Some waved colors of flame, others of light, and still others carried symbols carved in crystal. At the very center stood the alien High Council. They looked noble, tall, and ancient. Their robes shimmered with silver threads, and their voices echoed like calm music. They spoke of peace, of unity, of leaving behind endless war. For many in the chamber, their words were sweet. For others, their words felt too sweet. The humans listened quietly. Ambassador Lyra sat among the delegates, her face calm and polite. Captain Cole stood behind her, his eyes sharp as steel. His soldiers, disguised as aides and assistants, spread out through the hall, every one of them studying exits, guards, and shadows. Cole had been in battle long enough to know the difference between a welcoming hand and a hidden chain. This gathering was no celebration. It was a cage built from honeyed words. The first sign came when the council spoke of weapons. "We cannot move forward while blades still hang over our heads," declared one elder. His voice echoed across the chamber. "So before peace may begin, each race must surrender its weapons. Your ships will be scanned, your soldiers disarmed, and your arsenals dismantled. This is the price of unity." A ripple of unease spread through the hall. Some races nodded quickly, eager to please. Others shifted nervously in their seats. To many, the demand sounded fair. But to the humans, it was something else entirely. Ambassador Lyra leaned forward. "Captain," she whispered under her breath, "they want us to give up everything." Cole's jaw tightened. Of course they do. The second sign came when the docking bays were sealed. As the speeches went on, Cole received a coded message from one of his officers stationed near the ships. The report was brief. The docking clamps had locked into place. No ship could leave the station without clearance. Cole's eyes narrowed. He sent back a single coded reply: "Hold position. Stay alert. If the Council planned betrayal, humanity's fleet would not be caught like prey." The third sign came from the guards. They stood at every corridor, armored in gleaming suits. Their weapons were not ceremonial. They were charged and ready. When the humans moved, the guards' eyes followed them. Every step they took was tracked. One human aide, Lieutenant Mara, tested the tension by walking near an exit. A guard shifted forward, hand resting on his weapon until she stepped back. "They don't want us leaving," Mara whispered later. "No," Cole agreed, his voice grim. "They want us cornered." When the speeches ended, the delegations were led into smaller chambers for private discussions. Humans were guided into a hall lined with tall windows, showing the stars outside. The view was meant to inspire hope. Instead, Cole saw alien cruisers patrolling like wolves around a pen. The council representatives entered, their smiles wide and practiced. "Ambassadors of Earth," one said smoothly. "We are pleased you have come. Humanity has much strength. We wish that strength to serve peace, not war. For that, you must surrender your weapons." Ambassador Lyra's voice was steady. "Peace cannot be built on forced surrender. It must be chosen freely." The elder's smile did not falter. "Without trust, there can be no peace." Cole finally spoke, his tone calm but edged. "Trust is not demanded. It is earned." The trap began to close. Suddenly, heavy doors sealed behind the humans. The sound echoed through the chamber like thunder. Guards moved into position along the walls, weapons glowing faintly. The council's voices lost their softness. "You humans grow too quickly." One hissed. "You build too fast, fight too hard, spread too far. If left unchecked, you will upset the balance of the stars. The old ways will fall. We cannot allow it." Another stepped forward, eyes cold. "This treaty was never for peace. It was for control. And humanity must be controlled before it is too late." Gasps rose from other delegates, but none dared to speak. Fear froze them in their seats. The council's trap was clear. Isolate humanity, strip their weapons, and crush their rising power before it became unstoppable. Ambassador Lyra stood tall. Her voice did not tremble. "You speak of balance, but you mean chains. You offer peace, but you bring only submission. Humanity will not bow." The chamber grew tense. Guards raised their weapons. The trap had been revealed, and soon it would spring shut. Cole's hand tapped a small device hidden in his sleeve. It sent a silent signal across encrypted channels. On distant ships, human crews received it instantly. Systems powered up. Engines roared to life. Hidden weapons warmed. If the council wanted a cage, The humans were ready to break it open. But inside the hall, the tension was like fire waiting for a spark. One council elder leaned close to Lyra. His voice was soft but full of threat. Do not resist. Hand over your weapons. Accept the treaty. If you do, some of your kind may be spared. Lyra's eyes blazed. We came in hope. We came with open hands. But we are not fools. Humanity never walks unprepared. Cole gave the faintest nod to his disguised soldiers. They shifted ready, their hidden weapons almost within reach. The elder sneered. So you choose war? Cole's reply was simple. We choose survival. Outside the chamber, the humans' fleet began to move. The cloaked warships that had followed silently through asteroid fields now slid into firing positions. Their captains reported readiness. The convoy ships in the docks sent back confirmation. Every hidden defense was armed. Humanity had not come only to talk. They had come expecting betrayal. Back inside, the council raised their hands. At once the guards advanced, weapons pointed. The chamber erupted in shouts, alien delegates screaming, some begging for calm, others trying to flee. But humanity stood firm. Not a single soldier moved back. Ambassador Lyra's voice rang out over the chaos. You think us weak because we are new to the stars. You think us easy to chain because we speak of peace. But know this, humanity's peace is not born from fear. It is born from strength. And if you come to break us, you will find we are unbroken. Her words cut through the chamber like a blade of light. Even some alien delegates stared in awe. Captain Cole gave the final signal. Hidden compartments opened. Compact rifles unfolded from diplomatic cases. Aides drew small, sleek pistols from within their robes. What had seemed like a group of peaceful envoys was now revealed as a strike team, armed and ready. The guards froze in shock. They had expected prey. Instead, they faced hunters. Cole leveled his weapon calmly. We came for peace, he said, voice steady. But we came ready for war. The trap had been revealed. The council's plan was no longer a secret. Their lies had shattered, their fortress exposed. The next move would not be words. It would be fire. And as the stars burned beyond Harmony Spire, humanity prepared to answer betrayal with strength. They had walked into the cage, but they had brought the keys to break it. The chamber of Harmony Spire was no longer filled with calm speeches. It was now filled with silence sharp as a blade. Alien guards stood with their weapons raised, energy cores glowing faintly. Delegates from across the galaxy froze in their seats, some trembling, some staring wide-eyed. The High Council watched with cold satisfaction, certain their trap was finally closed. But humanity did not bend. Captain Cole stood tall in front of Ambassador Lyra, his weapon steady in his grip. Around him, human aides had revealed their true identities. Soldiers disguised as diplomats, each armed with compact rifles and pistols hidden from alien scans. Their eyes did not waver. Ambassador Lyra's voice cut through the tension. You spoke of peace. You promised safety, but you only meant to chain us. The leading elder of the council stepped forward, his tall frame lit by the glow of the chamber lights. His smile was gone, replaced by cold command. You cannot win here. You are surrounded by our guards, our ships, and our weapons. Lay down your arms. Accept the treaty. This is your last chance. Captain Cole's eyes narrowed. We never came unprepared. You thought we trusted your words. But humanity knows too well what a false promise sounds like. And then, softly, he added, we brought more than words. Far outside the chamber, in the silent dark of space, the humans' hidden fleet came alive. Warships that had drifted quietly among asteroid shadows now surged forward, their engines lit like stars, their weapons charged. The lead cruiser, Iron Dawn, broadcast a single message across encrypted channels. Signal received. Engage on command. Within the docks of Harmony Spire, the humans' diplomatic ships also revealed their secret. Panels slid open, unfolding into defense turrets. Shield generators powered up, cloaking fields dropped, and cannons unfolded where there had seemed to be only smooth hulls. The alien cruisers patrolling outside quickly noticed the change. They moved in tight, trying to form a wall around the station. But the humans had positioned their warships perfectly. The trap was now facing another trap. Back inside the chamber, the tension finally snapped. The alien guards moved first, stepping forward in unison, weapons ready. But before they could fire, the humans acted. Lieutenant Mara, quick as lightning, drew her compact pistol and fired at the guard closest to her. The shot struck the alien's weapon, blasting it from his hands before he could pull the trigger. At the same moment, 2 more human soldiers rolled forward, rifles snapping open, covering the exits. Captain Cole's voice boomed across the hall. "Stand down. Humanity will not kneel. If you fire, we fire. If you force war, you will see our answer." The guards hesitated. They had not expected this. For centuries, the High Council had ruled through fear. Delegates always obeyed, always bent. No one had ever come to Harmony Spire with hidden weapons. No one had ever dared defy the Council in their own fortress. Yet here was humanity, standing tall, unshaken. Ambassador Lyra stepped forward, her words rising over the chaos. "Look around you," she called to the alien delegates. "Do you not see the truth? This is not peace. This is a cage!" You were all invited here not for unity but for control. You were meant to watch as humanity was broken. And tomorrow, perhaps you would be next. Whispers rose across the chamber. Some delegates lowered their heads, ashamed. Others clenched their fists, realizing the trap had not been for humans alone. It was for all of them. The council leader hissed, his patience snapping. "Enough, guards, end this!" The chamber exploded into chaos. Blinding flashes lit the hall as guards opened fire. But the humans were ready. Their rifles unleashed bursts of blue light, precise and controlled. Instead of panicked shots, they aimed carefully, striking weapons from hands, blasting barriers open, forcing space between them and their enemies. Cole shouted commands with sharp clarity. "Cover the exits! Shields up! Protect the ambassador!" His soldiers moved like a single machine, every step rehearsed, every motion exact. This was no random firefight. Humanity had drilled for this. Alien guards fell back, confused. They had numbers, but they lacked coordination. Against trained human squads, their advantage meant little. Outside the chamber, alarms blared across Harmony Spire. The station systems detected the human ships powering up. Sirens wailed as docking clamps strained against human countermeasures. Alien cruisers tried to lock targeting systems on the human warships, but the humans struck first. The Iron Dawn unleashed a volley of torpedoes, breaking through the blockade's tight wall. Another ship, the Silver Hawk, dove between 2 alien frigates, releasing a burst of energy pulses that blinded their sensors. In moments, the neat circle of the Council's fleet fell into disarray. For the first time, the hunters had become the hunted. Back in the chamber, Captain Cole and his team fought their way toward the exits. Seal breached. Lieutenant Mara shouted, blasting open a door with a rifle shot. Sparks rained as the heavy metal groaned. Delegates scrambled in panic, some fleeing behind the humans, others cowering in fear. A few even picked up fallen weapons, unsure who to fight. The illusion of the Council's perfect control was gone, shattered like glass. Ambassador Lyra raised her voice once more. "The Council does not want peace, they want obedience. But look at the humans. We wanted peace, yet we came ready for truth. Do not bow to lies, stand." Her words echoed like thunder. And for the first time, some alien delegates straightened their backs. Some even stepped toward the humans, not away. The Council leaders watched the scene unravel. Their plan, so carefully crafted, was burning in front of them. One elder's voice dripped with fury. "You think you can resist us? You are children playing with fire." "We will crush you," Captain Cole answered without hesitation. "Children grow, and humanity grows faster than you ever imagined." With that, he fired at the chamber ceiling. The shot struck a light fixture, showering sparks and plunging the hall into half-darkness. Confusion spread, giving his soldiers the chance they needed. They moved swiftly, escorting the ambassador through the breached door, rifles ready, eyes sharp. Humanity would not be trapped here. Far above the station, the battle raged. Alien cruisers unleashed heavy fire, but human ships moved with precision. They fought not with sheer power, but with clever tactics. Smaller human destroyers darted through gaps, striking engines and weapon arrays before retreating. Larger ships used shield formations covering weaker allies. The humans did not seek to destroy everything. They sought to break the trap, to create an escape route. And slowly, piece by piece, they were doing just that. Inside Harmony Spire, Captain Cole's team linked with their fleet. "We need extraction," he reported. "Path to docking bay is hot but manageable." The reply came at once. "We'll clear the way. Hold until then." As they moved through corridors, more guards tried to stop them, but the humans were disciplined. Shots were precise, movements coordinated. Doors were sealed behind them, preventing pursuit. Other species watched from the sides. Some whispered in awe, others in fear. None had ever seen a race stand against the Council like this. Ambassador Lyra looked at them as she passed. You do not have to be silent. The Council is not unbreakable. You just needed someone to show you. Her words lit sparks in alien hearts. Some would remember them long after this day. Finally, the humans reached the docking bay. Smoke filled the air from earlier clashes and alarms screamed overhead. Their convoy ships were waiting, weapons extended, shields raised. Alien forces tried to push them back, but human warships outside blasted openings in the blockade, raining fire against the Council's defenses. Captain Cole turned to his squad. Hold this line. No one touches the ambassador. His soldiers formed a wall, firing in controlled bursts, forcing back wave after wave. Step by step, they secured the path to the ships. Ambassador Lyra turned to him, voice steady despite the chaos. We came here for peace, but now the galaxy will know the truth. Cole nodded, his eyes hard. Yes, and they'll also know humanity never comes unprepared. As the humans boarded their ships, the Council's trap lay in ruins. What had been meant as a show of dominance had become a lesson in defiance. Humanity had given their answer. Not submission. Not silence, but resistance, courage, and strength. The Council had sought to cage them. Instead, they had unleashed something far greater. The rise of humanity's legend among the stars, and the galaxy would never forget it. The halls of Harmony Spire trembled with the roar of alarms and the staccato crackle of energy weapons. Sparks rained from ceiling panels struck by stray shots, and the air smelled faintly of ozone and burned circuitry. The once peaceful station was now a battlefield. Captain Darius Cole led the human squad through the corridors, rifles steady, eyes sharp. The walls that had gleamed with alien artistry now bore scorch marks and dents. Alien guards advanced, but humanity moved faster, smarter, and with unyielding coordination. Move, Cole shouted. Cover the exits. Protect the ambassador. Ambassador Lyra followed, her calmness a stark contrast to the chaos around her. Human soldiers created a protective perimeter, their compact rifles firing precise bursts, knocking weapons from the hands of guards and blasting open doors to prevent entrapment. Outside, the human fleet continued its assault. Warships like the Iron Dawn and Silverhawk had positioned themselves around the station, forming a semicircle of shields and firepower. Alien cruisers attempted to respond, but the humans had studied their tactics. Every attack they launched was anticipated and countered. Target the escort frigates. Cole's voice came through the comms. Open corridors for evacuation. Smaller human ships darted between larger vessels, striking engines and weapon arrays with bursts of guided energy pulses. The alien cruisers, once confident in their numbers, faltered under the humans' clever maneuvers. They had underestimated humanity's skill in both strategy and speed. Inside Harmony Spire, the battle intensified. The station's corridors were a blur of movement, energy flashes, and shouts in multiple languages. Alien guards advanced in formations, but humans moved with fluid precision, using every corner and hallway to their advantage. Lieutenant Mara ducked behind a bulkhead and fired 2 shots, knocking a weapon from a guard's hand. Another soldier rolled forward, taking down a pair of advancing foes while protecting a group of fleeing delegates. Cole moved with calm purpose, assessing each situation. Clear this corridor. Move the ambassador. His team responded instantly, each action rehearsed and exact. Humanity's strength was not only in weapons but in discipline, coordination, and courage. In one section of the station, a squad of humans encountered a group of alien delegates hiding in a side chamber. Fear was evident in their eyes, but when they saw humanity's soldiers, awe replaced it. You fight for survival, one delegate whispered. Not for dominance. For survival, Cole nodded. Yes, but survival is also the seed of freedom. If you want to live, stand with us. Do not follow fear. Some of the delegates nodded, rising to help, picking up fallen alien weapons. Humanity did not encourage unnecessary violence, they encouraged courage. In moments, the hall transformed from a battlefield into a rally point. Aliens who had been silent observers now found their voices. Meanwhile, on the docking bays, human ships prepared for extraction and counterattack. Alien reinforcements attempted to land, but the humans had blocked access. Energy barriers and precise fire created safe paths for both soldiers and allies. Captain, Lieutenant Mara reported. The Council is sending elite guards to cut off the ambassador. They are fast, but our squads can intercept. Cole's jaw tightened. Intercept and neutralize. Do not harm the delegates. Only stop the attackers. The elite guards arrived, moving like shadows, sleek and deadly. But the humans were ready. Soldiers fired controlled volleys, disabling weapons and forcing the attackers back without causing unnecessary casualties. Humanity's strategy was clear. Win the battle, but show restraint. The High Council watched from their observation deck, their confidence crumbling. Their trap, meant to isolate humanity, now teetered on the edge of failure. Ships outside the station struggled against human fire, and inside the humans had gained the upper hand in every corridor they entered. One elder hissed, "They are reckless. They have no respect for the Council's authority." Another replied, voice trembling with fear, "They are not reckless. They are organized. And they are not afraid." Cole's squad moved toward the station's central control hub. Securing it would prevent the Council from using Harmony Spire's automated defenses against them. The corridor was tight, but the humans flowed like water, clearing rooms, neutralizing threats, and securing control points. "Central hub in sight," Cole called. "Cover the sides. Mara, prepare the override." Lieutenant Mara worked swiftly, her hands moving over the control panel. Sparks flew as she bypassed security protocols, and within moments, the station's internal defenses were under human command. Energy barriers shifted to protect escape routes, docking clamps unlocked for allied ships, and automated turrets aligned to support human squads. As the battle raged, some alien species began to question their allegiance to the Council. Observing humanity's courage and discipline, a few delegates took action. One group of crystalline beings from Orath picked up fallen energy weapons and joined the humans in defending corridors. A smaller faction of the Zir species began guiding fleeing delegates to safety. Cole noticed the shift. "Encourage them," he ordered. "They fight not for war, but for life. We are not alone." The humans' actions inspired hope. Where fear had ruled, courage now spread. The station, once a symbol of control, became a symbol of defiance. Outside, the space battle escalated. Alien cruisers tried to retreat, but human warships blocked their paths strategically. The Silverhawk struck at weapon arrays while the Iron Dawn fired precision torpedoes at engines, immobilizing enemy ships. Humanity was not seeking to destroy all alien forces. Their goal was to break the trap, create safe passage, and protect allies. Still, their skill and courage made it clear that any attack on humans would come at great cost. Back in the station, Cole's squad approached the final corridor leading to the main docking bay. Elite Council guards had regrouped, attempting a last stand, but the humans moved as one, suppressing fire. Cole ordered. Bursts of energy struck weapons from hands, disabling attacks without killing. Mara's team cleared side rooms, ensuring no one could flank them. Step by step, the path opened. The ambassador and allied delegates moved through the corridor, guided and protected. At last, they reached the docking bay. Smoke filled the area, but human ships waited, shields raised, ready to depart. Cole's voice came over comms. "All units converge on docking bay. Secure evac points. Prepare for jump." Soldiers formed defensive lines, energy shields glowing. Alien guards advanced one last time, but human precision was unmatched. Coordinated volleys disabled weapons, forcing attackers back. Ambassador Lyra stepped aboard the waiting ship. Her calm presence steadied those around her. "This station was meant to be our tomb," she said softly. "But we turned it into our victory." Cole nodded. Victory is not measured by destruction. It is measured by courage, by discipline, by protecting life while standing against lies. Humanity shows that today. As the last humans boarded their ships, Harmony Spire was in chaos. Alarms screamed, corridors were damaged, and alien cruisers struggled to regroup. The trap had failed. Outside, human warships provided cover, allowing allies to escape. Some alien delegates followed. Seeing the strength and wisdom of humanity firsthand, Cole watched from the bridge of Horizon Star. "We came to talk. We came for peace," he said quietly. "And we were betrayed. But we also came ready, and now the galaxy sees the truth. Humanity does not bow to traps, lies, or fear." The battle was not over, but humanity had proven something far greater than force. They had inspired courage, shown discipline, and protected life. They had taken a trap meant to destroy them and turned it into a rallying cry. The galaxy would remember this day, not as a defeat, but as the rise of a species that refused to kneel. Humanity had not only survived, they had led, and in doing so, they had changed the course of history. Harmony Spire, once a symbol of control, now bore witness to the strength and courage of humanity, and the High Council would never forget it. Harmony Spire was quiet at last. The corridors still smoked from battle, energy panels flickered unevenly, and the echo of alarms had faded. The once imposing station, built to hold and control, now seemed smaller, almost fragile against the presence of humanity. Captain Darius Cole stood at the bridge of the Horizon Star, watching the stars through the wide viewport. Outside, damaged alien ships drifted, some retreating, others immobilized. The battle was over, but the aftermath lingered. "Is everyone accounted for?" he asked, turning to his officers. Lieutenant Mara nodded. "All soldiers and delegates are aboard. No casualties beyond minor injuries." The evac was successful. Ambassador Lyra joined them, her calm demeanor contrasting the tension in the bridge. She looked out at the ruins of the station and said softly, "This place was meant to be a tomb for humanity, yet we turned it into a symbol of courage." Cole nodded. "We survived. More than that, we proved that fear and deception cannot dominate us." The High Council had retreated to their private chambers, but their confidence was shattered. Their trap, so carefully designed, had failed spectacularly. Humans had not only survived, they had taken control, inspired hope in other species, and revealed the Council's weakness. The Council Elder, who had orchestrated the trap, slammed a fist against the wall. "How could a young species so new, so inexperienced, turn our perfect plan to ruin?" Another elder replied, voice tight with fear, "They do not fight like us. They fight for survival, for honor, and for each other. That is strength we cannot match." Even within the council, doubt now spread like wildfire. Some delegates whispered that perhaps the humans were not only brave, they were something the galaxy had never seen before. A force united by purpose, courage, and vision. Meanwhile, humanity's squad returned to the central chamber of Harmony Spire. What had been a battlefield now felt like a place of decision. Delegates who had hidden or fled emerged slowly, their expressions a mixture of awe and relief. The Orath crystals, once silent observers, approached cautiously, carrying recovered energy weapons. "We see now," one said, "that fear is not the only way to live. Strength guided by purpose is the truth." A small group of Zir serpents nodded, their long forms curling around support beams. "You fought without hatred," one whispered. "You showed us that courage is the way forward." Cole looked at them all. Humanity does not seek to dominate, only to defend. But when deception rises, it must be met with clarity and strength. That is our way. Ambassador Lyra stepped forward, her voice carrying through the chamber. "The Council intended to trap us, to take away our freedom and our weapons. But humanity refuses to kneel. Today is proof that peace built on lies is no peace at all. True peace is earned, and it is chosen." Some alien delegates stirred, murmuring agreements. They had witnessed the courage, the skill, and the fairness of the humans. They began to realize that this species, though young, had something rare in the galaxy: integrity guided by strength. Outside the station, human warships monitored the retreating alien fleet. Cole's fleet had not destroyed them, only disabled key systems to ensure no immediate retaliation. Humanity had fought with precision and restraint, proving that they could act decisively without unnecessary cruelty. "This is our message to the galaxy," Cole said to Mara. "Strength must be matched with wisdom. Courage without purpose is wasted. Humanity stands ready to defend, but also to lead toward true unity." The ships powered down their offensive systems, forming a protective circle around allied ships and delegates preparing to leave. Humanity's display of power was clear, yet it carried no threat beyond the necessary. It was the demonstration of responsibility, the hallmark of a species the galaxy had underestimated. In the aftermath, Cole convened a council of his own within the Horizon Star. Allied species joined, small delegations who had seen the humans in action. They shared reports of fear, relief, and newfound courage. For the first time in centuries, aliens spoke not as subjects of fear but as equals, guided by respect for the humans' discipline and morality. "Humanity's strength," one Orath crystal said, "is not only in weapons but in their hearts. They act as one, protect as one, and lead as one. We will follow not because we must, but because we choose to. Cole smiled faintly. Then perhaps a new kind of treaty is possible. Not one forced by fear, but chosen freely, built on respect. The High Council attempted to regroup, calling emergency meetings. But the presence of humans in the system had changed everything. Their fleet, their courage, and the allies they had inspired now stood as a counterbalance to the Council's old dominance. Even the Council's strongest elder realized the truth. Controlling humanity was no longer possible. Attempting to strike again would unite every species against them. Perhaps, the elder whispered, this is the beginning of a new era, one we cannot dictate. A few days later, the first true negotiations began. The Council, humbled by failure, was forced to listen. Humanity's ambassador spoke clearly. Peace cannot exist through deception. Trust must be earned and freedom cannot be demanded, it must be chosen. Humanity will stand as a partner in the galaxy, not as a subject, not as a pawn, and certainly not as a victim. Delegates from dozens of species nodded. For the first time, they saw a vision of the galaxy not ruled by fear, but by cooperation, guided by strength and wisdom. Back aboard the Horizon Star, Captain Cole and Ambassador Lyra reflected on the events. Do you think they will ever forget this? Lyra asked. Cole nodded slowly. They will not. Today we proved that humanity does not bow, that we fight with honor, and that courage can inspire even the strongest to change. And the Council? She asked. They will learn eventually. But more importantly, the galaxy has learned. Species that once hidden fear now see that they can rise, stand together, and choose freedom. Lyra smiled faintly. We came for peace, but we brought more than that. We brought hope. Cole's gaze drifted to the stars beyond. Hope, yes. And a warning. If anyone tries to trap humanity again, they will find us ready. Always ready. Weeks passed. Harmony Spire, once a symbol of control, became a neutral station once more, this time for genuine negotiations. Humanity, respected and admired, helped mediate discussions, ensuring that no species was forced into submission. The galaxy saw that strength combined with justice was the foundation of true peace. Species that had watched from the shadows now came forward, inspired by humans who had stood firm. Alliances formed not out of fear, but out of trust and admiration. The Council, humbled but still present, agreed to the formation of a new galactic treaty, one where freedom, respect, and cooperation were valued over domination and deceit. Captain Cole stood on the observation deck one final time, watching ships of all colors and shapes come and go from Harmony Spire. Do you ever wonder, Lyra asked, what humanity's place in the galaxy will be? Cole's eyes gleamed with quiet determination. We are young, but we are strong. We do not conquer for glory. We do not rule by fear. We protect, we inspire, and we rise. Humanity's place is wherever courage and justice are needed. Lyra nodded. And wherever peace must be earned. Cole smiled faintly. Exactly. Today we survived a trap. Tomorrow we will help the galaxy survive too. And so humanity's legend grew. They had walked into a trap designed to destroy them. They had brought weapons, yes, but also discipline, strategy, and courage. They had not sought revenge, only justice. And in doing so, they had changed the course of the galaxy. The galaxy remembered this day, not as a story of war, but as a story of humanity standing tall, refusing to bow, refusing to surrender, and showing all species that strength combined with honor could create a new kind of peace. From that day forward, anywhere the stars shone, the message was clear. If you want peace, stand with humanity. If you want war, be ready to meet them prepared. Humanity had turned betrayal into triumph, fear into hope, and a trap into a beacon for the galaxy. And the galaxy would never forget. The Galactic Empire stretched across hundreds of star systems. Its banners flew over worlds of fire, ice, and gas. Its fleets were like moving cities, armed with weapons that could burn a continent in a single strike. For centuries, no one dared to resist the Empire. When its ships arrived, most species bent their knees, accepted imperial rule, and paid tribute. When the Empire first heard about Earth, it paid little attention. The reports described a green-blue planet with oceans, forests, and a young spacefaring species called humans. The humans had spread to nearby planets and moons, but they had no true empire. To the rulers of the Galactic Empire, Earth seemed like a small, unimportant place. In the high halls of the Empire, one council member asked, "Do we need to waste a large fleet on these humans?" The Emperor's reply was cold and certain. "No, a single expedition force will be enough. Show them the power of the Empire, they will kneel." Thus a fleet of 20 warships left Imperial space commanded by Admiral Zorath, a seasoned leader who had crushed rebellions on 3 different worlds. To him, Earth was just another name to add to his long record of victories. Arrival when the Imperial fleet reached Earth's orbit, its ships glittered against the blackness of space. Each vessel was larger than any human battleship. Their shields glowed faintly like bubbles of light. Admiral Zorath looked at Earth on his screen and gave a thin smile. "Send them a message," he ordered. "They have one chance to surrender." The Imperial message was broadcast in every human language. It was simple and arrogant. "This planet now belongs to the Galactic Empire. Lay down your weapons and submit. Resistance will only bring destruction." On Earth, leaders from many nations gathered in emergency meetings. The sight of alien warships filled every screen. For a brief moment, fear spread across the world. Some asked if surrender was the only option, but the human answer was firm. Earth would not kneel. A message was sent back. "We will not surrender. This is our home. If you want it, you will have to fight for it." First Shot's Admiral Zorath was not surprised. He had seen stubborn species before. To him, resistance was just a small delay. "Destroy their defenses," he commanded. Imperial ships fired beams of burning light at Earth's orbital stations. Explosions lit up the sky, and pieces of metal drifted in silence. Yet before the Empire could celebrate, missiles launched from hidden platforms on Earth's surface shot into space. One Imperial cruiser was hit in the engines. Fire spread through its decks, and it spun helplessly before breaking apart. Admiral Zorath frowned, unexpected. But one loss changes nothing. Then more human ships appeared, smaller than the Imperial vessels, but fast and coordinated. They swarmed together, targeting weak points in the Imperial formation. Human pilots shouted to each other, their voices calm and determined. "Squadron 3, break left. Hit their flank! Target the shield nodes. Keep firing until it cracks." The battle turned fierce. Human tactics. Humans knew they could not match the Empire in raw power. Their ships were lighter, their weapons less advanced. But humans had studied every detail of the first Imperial attack. They had prepared traps and strategies that used speed and surprise. In the dark of space, hidden satellites woke from silence. They released swarms of drones that flew like clouds of steel hornets. These drones were not strong individually, but together they confused the Empire's targeting systems. Imperial gunners fired at the wrong signals, while real human ships darted past. Torpedoes struck another Imperial cruiser, tearing through its armor. On the ground, human commanders directed the fight. General Marcus, one of Earth's leading strategists, watched the battle on giant screens. His voice carried steady confidence. "They think this is our full strength," he told his staff. "Let them believe it. Every hour we hold them back, we grow stronger." Shock of the Empire Admiral Zorath began to feel pressure. He had expected a short battle, but instead, his fleet was bleeding. 3 ships had been destroyed, 2 more heavily damaged. "These humans fight with madness," one of his officers said. "Not madness," Zorath replied bitterly. "Skill and planning." The Admiral ordered his fleet to regroup. He tried to press forward, but every movement was met with resistance. Human ships sacrificed themselves to protect Earth, colliding with Imperial vessels when their weapons failed. The Admiral realized something dangerous. The humans were not afraid of death. They were fighting for something greater than survival. They were fighting for home. By the end of the second day of battle, the Imperial fleet was forced to retreat beyond the moon. Zorath stared at the planet from afar, his pride wounded. Earth's victory. When the Imperial fleet finally withdrew, cheers filled Earth's cities. Humanity had survived the first clash. Though many ships and stations were lost, the people stood united. They had faced the might of the Galactic Empire and had not fallen. General Marcus stood before his officers and said, "Today, we proved that Earth will never kneel. But this is only the beginning. They will return, and we must be ready." In the Imperial capital, news of the defeat spread quickly. The council was silent as Admiral Zorath gave his report. "These humans are unlike any we have faced," he admitted. "They fight with fire in their hearts. They will not be easy to conquer." But the Empire believed it understood the truth. They threw everything at us, one council member said. If this was their full strength, their end is near. The Emperor nodded slowly. Yes, we will crush them in our next move. None of them knew the real truth. Humanity had not used its whole army. Only Earth's local defenses had fought. The colonies on Mars, Luna, and beyond had not yet joined the battle. Humanity's strength was far greater than the Empire imagined, and soon the galaxy would discover it.